Europe has been in talks with the Chinese government. The Chinese government obviously are furious about the sanctions or the taxes put on Chinese electric vehicle companies. They've been in talks, and so the European Union, they've gone, yeah, okay, China, you're threatening us that you're going to do the same back to us, which is kind of fair. So, all right, we'll revise the taxes that we placed on you, but just by a little bit. So this is what the revisions are. Honestly, they're so insanely ridiculous. I have no idea what the point of them was. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Big thank you to our Patreon supporters and YouTube members, guys. Thanks for your support in keeping the channel up and running. And obviously, at this point in time, to be honest, guys, it is. Life is quite challenging, and sometimes you just think, how do people deal with this stuff? I don't know how people do it. I don't know how they've done it. Anyway, Europe has revised its tariffs. Now, the Chinese government has said that it's basically demanded that Europe change these tariffs. In addition to that, a whole lot of Chinese companies, a whole lot of Chinese car manufacturers are lobbying the Chinese government to tax vehicles from European and American, and Japanese automakers, which are internal combustion vehicles. And honestly, I think that's completely fair. I think even if Europe hadn't have put these taxes on them, I would have said, do it. That's good. Tax the hell out of these vehicles, these massive cigarettes. And we're talking, large engines. So I believe the Chinese government will actually put taxes on vehicles with large engines coming from any automaker. But this will hurt companies like Audi, Mercedes-Benz, and BMW in particular, where they sell these big 5-litre V8 engines, and that's where they make their profit, in these high-margin luxury vehicles. Those are going to be taxed in China now. Anyhow, European Union have come back and they've said, yeah, right, well, we'll change the tariffs, but honestly, I don't know what the point is. To be honest, my take on this is the European Union are being smartasses. They're being smartasses. It's like, I think the Chinese government would probably be even more angry after seeing these changes. It's sort of like being rude. You have a discussion, you say, yeah, we'll make some changes, and then you come along and do this. So, imports on Chinese EVs. What the tariff is, SAIC vehicles, which obviously SAIC own MG, the tariff on those was 38.1%. Geely was 20%, and BYD was around 18%. Now, they've adjusted the taxes on SAIC vehicles and MG vehicles down to 37.6%. So they've gone from 38.1 to 37.6. So they've put them down by 0.5%. Now, keep in mind, these numbers are actually not correct. I don't know why Reuters keeps reporting this, Bloomberg keeps reporting this. The truth is the tax is actually 48%. It was 48.1% because there was an additional 10% tax that already applied. So 48.1% has been changed to 47.6. So the difference is 0.5%. I mean, that makes no difference to anyone. I honestly, genuinely think China's going to go, you know what, because part of this is about saving face, and I understand that. So I think that's offensive that they did that. I think they should have kept it the same, or actually, if they're going to change it, make a proper change, not like a smart ass change. Anyhow, Geely has a tax of it was 20%. The European Union has revised Geely's tax to 19.9%. So the difference is 0.1%. Now, the truth is Geely actually has to pay 29.9%, and it was actually 30%. It's been revised to 29.9%. Crazy. Now, BYD's taxes have not been changed. No one else's have been changed. It's just Geely by 0.1%, and MG SAIC Motors by 0.5%. Keep in mind, though, that Volvo, they'll be pivoting. So Geely will pivot with Volvo, and they'll predominantly make Volvo EVs now in Europe, in particular in Belgium. A lot of Chinese vehicles are actually sold in Belgium. It's one of the biggest selling Chinese vehicle locations in the world. So they'll pivot, and they won't have to pay those taxes on those EVs that are made in Belgium, even though, of course, they predominantly will use parts that are made in China. Now, that's a way you can get around this. So BYD, they are currently building a car factory in Europe, a battery factory as well. The car factory, I believe, is in Hungary. So that will be a way for BYD to not have to pay these taxes. These revised tariffs, of course, are not going to appease China. And I don't know why they've done this. apparently, the Chinese government actually, here's the numbers, they're considering putting a 25% tariff on foreign car imports with internal combustion engines. You know what? Go for it is what I say. I think that'd be a good thing. Chinese manufacturers won't be affected by the EU's new tariffs in some cases. Now, realistically, some manufacturers don't make EVs. Some Chinese manufacturers are shipping internal combustion vehicles to Europe. They don't get taxed. That's ridiculous. I mean, to me, that is mind-blowingly stupid. Yeah, just sell your polluting cars, internal combustion cars in Europe. That's fine. As long as they're not EVs, we're all good with it. Thanks for watching.